Greetings, citizens of Gotham. This is the Political Vigilante. There's the blue light. We don't want Jimmy Dore losing his shit if he doesn't see that. Thank you for supporting the Political Vigilante, and the Patreon rewards are going to start going out. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. The link is below. And also, when you like and subscribe, all those things help YouTube's algorithm. The more people that watch a video, then the more they promote it, the more people watch it. And obviously, watching the ads all the way through helps. So we can talk about stories like this on the Intercept.com. Our democracy is in danger. Key reactions to Donald Trump's firing of FBI Director James Comey. It came out May 9th. Today, John Schwartz and Alex Emmons wrote this. It's curious to see the Intercept's reaction to this. Obviously, this story broke, and it's been a big thing all over the news today. But how the Intercept is handling it is they're showing sort of how it was handled and potential reasons why, and reactions from sort of both sides, even Republicans and Democrats, how they reacted to this and what this actually could mean. And it's, who knows what is going on, because this is so peculiar. Because, so a little backstory, I don't know if you follow, like when James Comey was appointed over the summer to lead the investigation into Hillary's emails, he's a conservative, he's a Republican, and a bunch of Republicans were like, yeah, he's awesome, he's awesome. Then after he went through everything and spoke and said, look, what she did was a little reckless, but it wasn't worse than Petraeus did. Then, of course, Republicans were like, oh, he's awful, he's a sellout, whatever. And then Comey, then a week or 10 days before the election, comes back and says, we're opening the investigation, which clearly was like, wow, that did not help her situation. And so, but there's a lot of weird stuff happening, right? Because Yates was fired by Trump, and Yates is now coming forward to say she warned Trump about Flynn. So the Russia stuff just is not going away. And it's a peculiar thing to navigate, because as I've talked about on this show, and other people like progressive independent media have talked about this, the left has used the Russia connection. It's a lot of like, oh, there's Soviets, the Soviets, and as I've talked about, Donna Brazil would rather say on her Twitter feed that, messing with our election is an act of war, all caps, rather than admit, oh, I helped cheat. So to see the left, use the Russia thing, that makes me nervous when they're acting that way, because then they're trying to just use it for what? To stir up World War III? Then Trump clearly has ties to Russia, but then he's claiming Russia. It's a weird thing that's happening. So this article kind of sheds some light on this. This Comey firing, it means something. He has information. And the article goes into it sort of similar to when Nixon, basically Nixon was impeached because he was using the Department of Justice to investigate Watergate, and he interfered with them and all this other stuff. So this is really, if someone's going to start bringing up real charges against Trump, they need to start doing it now. And they need independent investigators, because this is very odd behavior. So here's what happened this Tuesday afternoon. Trump fired James Comey, director of the FBI. According to a letter from Trump that was reportedly hand-delivered to Comey's office by Trump's longtime top security aide, the president acted because Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Deputy Attorney General Ron Rosenstein recommended that Comey be dismissed. Comey was in LA and learned of the news on TV. That's a fun way to know, hey, you've been fired. What? In a letter to Trump, Sessions stated that a fresh start is needed at the leadership of the FBI and that he concurred with the reasoning of an attached memo by Rosenstein regarding Comey. Rosenstein's memo stated that he cannot defend the director's handling of the conclusion of the investigation of Senator Hillary Clinton's emails. The director was wrong, Rosenstein wrote, to usurp the Attorney General's authority on July 5th, 2016, and announce his conclusion that the case should be closed without prosecution. Compounding the error, the director ignored a long-standing principle: we do not hold press conferences to release derogatory information about the subject of a declined criminal investigation. So that's weird, because that is, Trump is claiming that he fired Comey because the FBI director acted unfairly toward Clinton. That's what that statement means, which is really odd. So is this more like, I doubt that this is some sort of like deep state, the Clintons and the Trumps are working together. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. They're all filthy corrupt. But, or more than likely, Comey has more information about Trump and Flynn and anyone else connected to the Russians, and that's why they're firing him. So obviously the Democrats reacted publicly to this, and they're demanding that the Justice Department appoint a special prosecutor to oversee the ongoing counterintelligence investigation of the 2016 Trump campaign. Chuck Schumer tweeted, first President Trump fired Sally Yates, then Preet Bharara, now Comey. Doesn't seem like an accident. We must have a special prosecutor. Bernie Sanders tweeted, Donald Trump's decision to fire FBI Director James Comey raises serious questions about what his administration is hiding. Well, that's for sure. Ron Wyden, Comey should be immediately called to testify in an open hearing about the status of Russia/Trump investigation at the time he was fired. Even the Republicans that John McCain called that a special congressional committee to investigate Russia interference in 2000 election should be handled. Richard Burr of North Carolina, also Republican, said he was troubled by the timing and reasoning of James Comey's resignation. And then Lindsey Graham, who's been fairly critical of Trump, said that we need a fresh start. And Kellyanne Conway was on Anderson Cooper, and she said that he's looking at the wrong set of facts. So this is very odd. I mean, the Nixon thing that it was in reference to was Steve Cohen called this Nixonian. He referred to the Saturday Night Massacre in 1973, when top officials at the Justice Department resigned rather than carry out President Nixon's demand that they fire a special prosecutor investigating the Watergate scandal. I don't know what this means, man, but this shit is not going away. And I can't, like, it's weird. And knowing all of the stuff that's going on, my guess is it traces back to oil and the two competing pipeline story that I did about, Russia and Iran. And I think Turkey want to do one pipeline through Syria to get, oil to Western Europe. And then we and the Saudis and Qatar want to do a different pipeline. So this must have some sort of tie with that. Or there's real hard evidence about Trump's dealings with Russia that could get him impeached. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, Comey helped you win the election, so now he's being fired? It's really odd. And if James Comey doesn't start doing, especially the way that they fired him, doesn't start coming forward with a bunch of stuff, then there's some other stuff. It's so hard to see this particular deep state chess move. Is it two competing deep state people fighting? I've often asked that. And they're playing it out with all of this other stuff that's like pawns. I don't know. But this is just the beginning, this story, and what's really going on. So we're going to have to do some more digging on this and find out. And I'm going to pay attention to see who reacts to this, how and why. That's kind of the one way to see. How the left media responds, how the Republicans respond, how the Democrats respond, and what what comes out of this. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm going to stay on top of this, and I appreciate your comments and everything.